Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this historical place, the Bomas of Kenya. And I want to start by acknowledging the momentous constitutional occasion which you are witnessing today. Not just for the Commission and the country, but for the region and the continent of Africa as well. Kenya is a trendsetter, the first among equals, and an elder brother to many of its neighbors. What we do and what happens with us as a country almost inexplicably sets the region's agenda, be it socio-economic, cultural, or political. Alive to this, I acknowledge that as a country, we are transiting through one of the most difficult and legally uncharted waters of having to conduct 2 presidential elections within 2 months. As a country, our unity, values, principles, interests, identity, and indeed our future has been tested. Sadly, ladies and gentlemen, we must recognize that some of our members of staff lost their lives and property in the course of their duty in these 2 presidential elections. Regrettably, innocent children, men and women have also lost their lives and property during this period. Many have been injured and maimed, and all in the midst of political competition. I call upon all of you to stand up and observe a moment of silence in memory of the dearly departed. Yeah, thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, why are we here today? On the 1st of September this year, the Supreme Court of Kenya invalidated the presidential election held on the 8th of August this year. The court issued an order directing the Commission to conduct a fresh election within 60 days in strict conformity with the Constitution and the laws of Kenya. Following that order by the Supreme Court, we as a Commission put in place all the systems required for the conduct of the fresh election, including making changes that had been asked by the Supreme Court preceding the election. The Commission then issued a statement detailing the actions taken by the Commission to guarantee legal compliance with the Supreme Court judgment in preparation for the election we held on the 26th of October this year, the fresh presidential elections. On the 18th of August 2017, I made a statement regarding the state of the Commission's preparedness to conduct the fresh presidential election, and I gave conditions that needed to be satisfied before we could embark on this mandate. I'm satisfied that we were able to meet these conditions that have enabled the Commission to deliver what to us, and I believe to all Kenyans and observers, is a free, fair, and credible election. The Commission ensured that everything required of us by law was put in place for the conduct of the election. We trained our staff, we identified and gazetted polling stations, we appointed election officials and trained them, and in order to make certain that everything was in place, we even changed the initial date we had set for election, 17th October to 26th, just to ensure that we have ample time to oversee flawless and credible process. We also came up with a fresh presidential election project team and a steering committee, which was managed by the commissioners themselves, chaired by myself, to address the concerns on alleged complicity of our staff within the commission. So this election has been run by a fresh team made from the commission staff from all over the country. I can confidently say that on the 26th of October this year, before polling commenced, I was content then, as I am now, that we had done everything that was required to ensure that every Kenyan would have the opportunity to exercise their constitutional rights under Article 38 of the Constitution. And these rights are to be exercised without interference, hindrance, threat, or intimidation from anybody. Indeed, in a majority of polling stations, we discharged our mandate. Unfortunately, not all Kenyans entitled and registered to vote came out to do so. I respect the choice of every Kenyan to exercise their right to vote or not to vote. As has been evident, regrettable and unfortunate events in any democracy, our democracy unfolded in 25 out of the 290 constituencies. This made it impossible for the Commission to carry out the electoral process, despite having made several attempts to put in place electoral infrastructure required for the Kenyan people to elect their leaders. As a Commission, we made sure that polling stations, of course, were available, the officials ready to report to their respective stations, material ready for dispatch. However, the conditions existing in these constituencies were not conducive for the Commission to conduct the poll. Unnecessarily, this made it difficult for our staff and materials to arrive and the elections to proceed. Regarding conducting the 26th October election itself, the Commission deployed adequate electoral infrastructure to enable the conduct of elections. We faced challenges which included protests in the 25 constituencies I've mentioned. There were also the issue of bad weather in some areas, heavy rains, massive flooding, and a few road accidents which led to loss of lives. The Commission therefore had to postpone and adjourn elections in the affected areas. According to Article 81E of the 2010 Constitution, elections are to be held in an environment which is free from violence, intimidation, and improper influence. As the referee, I was fully aware of the fact that my performance, therefore, was going to be determined by the political environment. To alleviate the situation, I therefore saw it fit to engage the two leading candidates with a view to cooling the political temperatures in the country. The stability and prosperity of our nation depends on all of us. We must therefore, all of us, play different roles to safeguard this, especially when we have been trusted with the responsibility of leadership. Unfortunately, I've watched as people seeking for a punching bag found a very good one in me. I find it interesting that while some say how weak a chairman I am, those in IEBC say this chairman is too principled and cannot be influenced. So we have all these scenarios, have been called names, but this just goes to show that when we have an assignment and we have focus on putting Kenya first, we still will not please everyone. I've upheld the law in all my undertaking because as a lawyer, I cannot live with contravening the law, which I set my life to defend. Tomorrow, over 1.6 million children will sit the national exams. I wish them success and best of luck. on behalf of myself and the Commission. It's unfortunate that they have had to undergo a lot of pressure during this election period as they prepared for this very important part of their lives. I pray that we, the leaders that they look up to, may be able to present ourselves as better examples for them in future. Even though the just concluded elections had its challenges, as described earlier, we need to note that when elections after election we face the same challenges as Kenyans in exactly the same way. Every election, every 5 years, we seem to be facing the same challenges. And it's important for us to pause and ask ourselves some hard questions. And these questions are the ones I want to address you on today. Even as we declare the results and purpose to move forward as a united country, we must be prepared to avoid finding ourselves in an even more difficult environment in the future. What I wish for, and my vision, is that this will be the last election in Kenya where we have to face these same problems. And I also want to seek answers to questions that will define us years to come. Why is the presidential elections so hardly fought? What are the roots of the polarization that consumes Kenyans who are erstwhile friends and turn into adversaries every election cycle? Why is the Electoral Commission never perceived as a fair umpire? Are all these peculiar things peculiar only to Kenya, or is it an African problem? And what is the hope of democracy, or hope for democracy in Kenya? We have countries in West Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, and the Gambia. These are three nations which recently held the elections, and they were judged free and fair. And that brought seismic changes to the political landscapes in those countries. The election verdicts were accepted, and the nations moved on. And in doing so, they entered into a new democratic era. Both locally and abroad, the election bodies in those countries were praised and respected not only by the politicians, but also by the international community, civil societies, and the media. This has unfortunately not been the case in Kenya in the past, and as such, it is pertinent that we do a deep analysis into the reasons why this is so. In this election, my team and I set to do things differently, not to comply with the concerns posed by the Supreme Court, but also aligning our processes for better realization of the constitutional standards on a credible election, and even lawfully addressing concerns raised by some of our stakeholders. These actions have been widely published in the media. This included the fresh training of all our staff, even as we tightened the electoral procedures to ensure a more credible process. Some of the key changes the Commission made include, but are not limited to, the following. We increased capacity of the KIMS kits by installing Safaricom SIM cards in all the kits, in addition to the other service providers, Airtel and Telcom. This ensured network coverage in areas where other network providers had poor network. We invited all political party ICT agents to be corroborated and participate in the verification of the transmission of results in the areas they were able to cover. The Commission left nothing to chance this time, as the training of electoral officials also included practical skills on how to use a printer, satellite communication technology, and photocopiers. The training was tailored towards ensuring procedures are followed to the letter, thereby ensuring the process meets the constitutional and legal standards of elections management. Returning officers printed out Form 34B and gave them out to all party agents for verification. We ensured that the national returning officer, that's myself, would only announce the results after physically receiving all Form 34As and signing a handover of 34Bs. Those of you who are here in the process, you saw us doing these processes. The main focus of all this and many other changes was to ensure complete transparency, accountability, credibility of the results management process as directed by the Supreme Court. In the polling process, some of the things done differently included verification and tallying of verified results undertaken at the National Tallying Center under the direction of the National Returning Officer. The results from the polling stations and the constituencies were transmitted through a secure VPN, that's a virtual private network, as opposed to the previous transmission we did in August using SFTP server. Only verified results were displayed at the National Tallying Center, that's on the screens. All the candidates' agents were allowed access into the RTS backend, and the media were allowed unfettered access into the counting and results transmission. When, as a nation, we promulgated the 2010 Constitution, it was received with a lot of jubilation. It was the Constitution to rectify everything that was wrong with Kenya. It's now 7 years, and we have the 2010 Constitution with us. Of course, from there, we got devolution, which is a big gift that the country delivered to itself through the Constitution. We received it with joy and a lot of hope. But we must make it work. It just might be the country's answer to the persistent challenges which we have. In the words of Nelson Mandela, as long as poverty, injustice, and gross inequality persist in our world, none of us can truly rest. Our Constitution is as good as the environment in which it operates. We cannot fix the politics of this nation if we do not fix the economics. Now, many people hold the view that the politics needs to be fixed before the economics can be fixed, but the reality is the reverse. What is the future of our country's democracy? From where I stand, it's very bright, but we must address some of the issues that would probably be more convenient if they are pushed under the carpet. Democracy is about hope. It's about a future that is greater than the present. It's about creating an environment and institutions that inspire a Kenyan dream. It's about people asking what they can do to their country because they have the evidence of what their country has done and will do for them, regardless of where they come from. It's about knowing without a shadow of doubt that they are part of the Kenyan story. I believe in Kenya, and I believe that we are able to become one of the world's most admired democracies. Kenyans, of course, are very intelligent people, they're innovative, and have made marks in practically every aspect of human endeavor. And once we get our basics right, then we are going to fly high. Let us therefore work on our foundations and together put our hands to the plow and create an environment for Kenyan dreams to find expression. I request, in finalizing my speech, I request you to join me in acknowledging the following persons and groups that have worked tirelessly in ensuring the successful completion of the fresh presidential election, now commonly called FPE by ourselves. First, I want to thank God Almighty who has seen us through this process. I thought you'd clap for. I want to thank all the commissioners. I may ask you to stand, the commissioners of IEBC. Now, these are the commissioners of IEBC. There are 5 of them. One of us left. This time round, they put their hands on the ball, their eye on the ball, and ensure that they manage the project team as a steering committee by themselves. They have been working here throughout. Thank you. We have the members of the fresh presidential election team, the project team. Please stand up. This is the team that has worked tirelessly to make sure that this election happens, and all that you have here is mainly they are the people who are behind the scenes working 24 hours. Some of them haven't slept for some time. Thank you. We have the staff of IEBC. Some are in the room, but they're all spread all over the country. These are the real mashijas as far as I'm concerned. The staff of IEBC work under very difficult conditions, some of them created by the politicians in this room. Okay, there are men outside. But they work under tough conditions. But they are resilient. They know they have to deliver. And they know that if they don't deliver, there's a jail term waiting for them for 5 years. And so they must deliver. And this time round, I want to confirm that they delivered. We have partners and stakeholders, including development partners. I see some of them in the room. Observers, thank you very much for having been with us throughout this period. I want to thank my family, my wife and kids. They really bear the brunt of all harassment I go through. When I watch television and people say all manner of things about me, they're the ones who feel it most. The Kenyan people, they have really prayed for IEBC and the country, and they say so in so many words. I thank you very much for praying for the stability of this country. I'll now proceed with the process of reading results from 34C as prepared by the Commission and the National Returning Officer and signed by the agents. So I'll give you a commercial break of a few minutes as we sort out those papers. Thank you.
Well, you're watching SABC News, and this is a live crossing to Kenya's Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission in Nairobi. Live visuals here where the Electoral Board is busy announcing poll results from the presidential rerun last week. Now, you've just seen IEBC's chair, Wafula Chebukati, a lawyer by profession, calling this election free, fair and credible. This despite voting not taking place in 25 protest-hit constituencies. Chebukati saying there it was difficult for elections to proceed in these hotspots, these volatile areas due to protests which blocked access and the delivery of voting materials. Now, he also called for unity and calm in the aftermath of the polls and to steer away from what he calls ethnic-centered politics. Chebukati did wish Kenya's 1.5 million learners well for their examinations tomorrow. Now, we will continue dipping into these proceedings live from Nairobi for the rest of the afternoon. Commissioners there taking a few minutes now to get the stats and figures for the various constituencies in order before they make this public announcement, which is very much a formality, and President Kenyatta expected to be announced the winner of these polls. We'll take you back there after a few minutes. For now, let's take a short break. Well, time to take a short break. More news after this.
I feel it's a real person.
And it's nutritious and delicious.
It's good. I really like it.
This celebrates being South African. We love our beer, we love our food, we love our music.
For knowing who you are going, you must know where you come from.
I'm excited to be part of this year.
For all your travel trends, catch us every Sunday, 12 midday on Channel 404.
You're watching SABC News. Let's take you back live now to the IEBC in Nairobi, Kenya.
Got 214 votes. That's 0.27%. Mohamed Dida, 393. That's 0.49%. Shagalaga Kwachirongo, 22. That is 0.03%. Japheth Kaluyu, 85, that's 0.11%. Uhuru Kenyatta, 78,350, that's 97.37%. Michael Wainaina, 26, that's 0.03%. Joseph Nyaka, 42, that's 0.05%. Raila Odinga, 1,332, that's 0.166%. Total valid votes cast, 80,464. Rejected ballots, 446. Kwale County, registered voters, 281,102. John Okot, 110, that's 0.33%. Mohamed Dida, 176.53%. Kwachirongo, 26.08%. Japheth Kaluyu, 56.17%. Uhuru Kenyatta, 30,750. That's 92.94%. Michael Wainaina, 30.09%. Joseph Nyaka, 64.19%. Raila Odinga, 1,873.566%. Total number valid votes cast, 3,085. Rejected ballots, 263. Kilifi County, registered voters, 508,266. John Okot, 198 votes, representing 0.47%. Mohamed Dida, 175, representing 0.42%. Kwachirongo, 44, representing 0.10%. Japheth Kaluyu, 74, representing 0.18%. Uhuru Kenyatta, 38,475, representing 91.34%. Michael Maura, Wainaina, 45, representing 0.11%. Joseph Nyaka, 40, representing 0.09%. Raila Odinga, 3,071, representing 7.29%. Total valid votes, 42,122. Rejected ballots, 441. Tana River County, total registered voters, 118,338. John Okot, 26.10%. Mohamed Dida, 167.064%. Wachirongo, 6.02%. Japheth Kaluyu, 86.33%. Uhuru Kenyatta, 25,112, representing 96.09%. Michael Maura, 6, representing 0.02%. Joseph Nyaka 30.011%, Raila Odinga 701.268%. Lamu County, registered number of voters 69,793. John Aukot 41.18%. Mohamed Dida 142.62%. Kwachirongo 17.07%. Japheth Kaluyu 26, representing 0.11%. Uhuru Kenyatta 22,213, representing 96.27%. Michael Maura 86, representing 0.37%. Joseph Nyaka 26, 0.11%. Raila Odinga 522, 2.26%. Taita Taveta County, registered number of voters 155,926. John Aukot 171.66%. Mohamed Dida 108.42%. Wachirongo 34.13%. Japheth Kaluyu 44.17%. Uhuru Kenyatta 24,034, that's 92.88%. Michael Maura 23.
Well, you're watching SABC News, and that was the live crossing to Kenya's Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission in Nairobi this hour, where the Electoral Board is announcing poll results from the presidential rerun last week. There you just saw the IEBC's chair, Wafula Chebukati, going through all the stats and figures for the various constituencies in the country. A lawyer by profession, he's called this election a little while ago free, fair and credible. Now, we'll be taking you back live once again, once the... for now, let's move on.
0.01%. Japheth Kaluyu, 9.002%. Uhuru Kenyatta, 37,805, 97.68%. Michael Maura, 9.002%. Joseph Nyaka, 17.004%. Raila Odinga, 1.18%. Wajir County, 162,912. Aukot, 26.008%. Dida, 339.108%. Wachirongo, 7.002%. Japheth Kaluyu, 11.003%. Uhuru Kenyatta 30,647, 97.34%. Michael Maura 0.04%. Joseph Nyaka 13.04%. Raila Odinga 427, 1.36%. Mandera County, registered vote. Jirongo 18.0, Kaluyu 81.33%, Kenyatta 23,869, 9% at 194 votes. Nyaga 9.04%, and Odinga 387, representing Marsabit 730, Aukot 86.19%, Dida 191.42%, Jirongo 9.02%, Kaluyu 4.01%, Kenyatta 44,491, 97.71%. Maura 58.01%, 0.13%. Nyaga, 17, 0.04%. Raila Odinga, 676, 1.48%. Isiolo County, registered voters 75,355, Aukot 346, 1.72%, Abduba Dida 198, 0. Joseph Nyaga 16, 0.08%. Raila Odinga 382, 1.90%. Meru County, registered voters 702,776. Aukot 874 votes, 0.20%. Mohammed Dida 577, 0.13%. Uhuru Kenyatta, 440,630, 98.71%. Michael Maura, 254, 0.06%. Joseph Nyaga, 360, 0.08%. Raila Odinga, 3,038, representing 0.68%. Tharaka Nithi County, 213,156 registered voters. John Aukot, 215, 0.15%. Mohammed Dida, 121, 0.08%. Jirongo, 75, 0.05%. Kaluyu, 131, 0.09%. Uhuru Kenyatta, 142,187, 98.97%. Michael Maura, 67, 0.05%. Joseph Nyaga, 123, 0.09%. Raila Odinga, 749, 0.52%. Embu County, 309,731, 309,731 registered voters. John Aukot, 307, 0.14%. Dida, 153 votes, 0.07%. Jirongo, 96, 0.04%. Kaluyu, 177, 0.08%. Uhuru Kenyatta, 215,518, 98.90%. Maura, 109, 0.05%. Nyaga, 407, 0.19%. Raila Odinga, 1,153, 0.53%. Kitui County, registered voters 474,563. Aukot, 212 votes, 0.42%. Dida, 93.18%. Jirongo, 57.011%. Japheth Kaluyu, 287, 0.57%. Uhuru Kenyatta, 46,300, 91.92%. Maura, 102, 0.20%. Nyaga, 101.20%. Raila Odinga, 3,218, 6.39%. Machakos County, 620,363 registered voters. Aukot, 300.45%. Dida, 216.32%. Jirongo, 48.07%. Kaluyu, 222.33%. Uhuru Kenyatta, 63,669, 94.86%. Maura, 63.09%. Nyaga, 124.18%. Raila Odinga, 2,476, 3.69%. Makueni County, 434 registered voters. Aukot 90.46%, Dida 61.31%, Jirongo 17.09%, Kaluyu 85.44%, Uhuru Kenyatta 18,146, 93.49%, Maura 19.10%, Nyaga 58.30%, Raila Odinga 933, 4.81%. Nyandarua County, count with 335,696 registered voters. Aukot 158.06%, Dida 80.03%, Jirongo 39.01%, Kaluyu 146.05%, Kenyatta 280,055, 99.68%. Michael Maura 81.03%, Joseph William Nyaga 82.03%, Raila Odinga 316, 0.11%. Nyeri County, with a registered number of 457,197 voters, Aukot 286, 0.07%, Dida 191, 0.05%, Jirongo 74, 0.2%, Kaluyu 900, 0.23%, Uhuru Kenyatta 382, 213, representing 99.41%. Michael Maura 109, 0.03%, Nyaga 131, 0.03%, Raila Odinga 596.16%. Kirinyaga County has a registered number of 349,970 voters. Aukot 218, 0.07%, Dida 118.04%, Jirongo 65.02%, Kaluyu 179, 0.06%, Kenyatta 293,373, that's 99.58%. Michael Maura 87, 0.03%, Nyaga 155.05%, Raila Odinga 424, 0.14%. Murang'a County, 587,222 registered voters. Aukot 311, 0.06%, Dida 166, 0.03%, Jirongo 90, 0.02%, Kaluyu 730, 0.15%, Kenyatta 496, 567, 99.50%. Maura 168, 0.03%, Nyaga 177, 0.04%, Odinga 846, 0.17%. Kiambu County, registered number of voters 1,181,076. Aukot 1,940.21%, Dida 1,522, 1,552.17%, Jirongo 381.0.04%, Kaluyu 758, 0.08%, Kenyatta 915,878. That is 98.82%. Maura 1,151, 0.12%. Nyaga 464, 0.05%. Odinga 4,704, 0.51%. Turkana County, with registered voters 191,435, 191,435. Aukot 660, 1.45%. Dida 13, 0.03%. Girongo 7, 0.02%. Kaluyu 17, 0.04%. Kenyatta 42,208, that's 92.94%. Michael Maura 10, 0.02%. Nyaga 44, 0.10%. Raila Odinga 2,456, 5.41%. West Pokot County 180,241 registered voters. Aukot 138.17%. Dida 51.06%. Girongo 15.02%. Kaluyu 51.06%. Kenyatta 76,804, 96.86%. Maura 276.35%. Nyaga 92.12%. Odinga 1,868, 2.36%. Samburu County 82,794 registered voters. Aukot 604 votes, that's 2.07%. Dida 32, 0.11%. Girongo 110, 0.38%. Kaluyu 10, 0.03%. Kenyatta 26,299, that is 90.32%. Maura 8.03%. Nyaga 46.016%. Odinga 2009, 6.90%. Trans Nzoia County, registered number of voters 339,715. Aukot 433, 0.45%. Dida 121, 0.13%. Girongo 69.07%. Kaluyu 99.010%. Kenyatta 93,775, 97.41%. Maura 82, 0.09%. Nyaga 121, 0.13%. Odinga 1,565, 1.63%. Uasin Gishu County, number of registered voters 450,159. Aukot 935, 0.35%. Dida 551.21%. Girongo 181.07%. Kaluyu 239.09%. Kenyatta 263,098, 98.40%. Maura 125.005%. Nyaga 205.08%. Odinga 2,036.076%. Elgeyo Marakwet County with 180,679 registered voters. Aukot 182, 0.14%. Dida 95.07%. Girongo 30.02%. Kaluyu 97.08%. Kenyatta 126,667, 99.25%. Maura 51.04%. Nyaga 0.03%. Odinga 461.03%. 0.36%. Nandi County, registered number of voters 346,102. Aukot 523.23%. Dida 302.13%. Girongo 135.06%. Kaluyu 179.08%. Kenyatta 227,979, 98.87%. Maura 124.05%. Nyaga 169, 0.07%. Odinga 1,178, 0.51%. Baringo County, registered voters 232,311. Aukot 583.38%. Dida 199.13%. Girongo 36, 0.02%. Kaluyu 96, 0.06%. Kenyatta 150,432, 98.76%. Maura 67, 0.04%. Nyaga 68, 0.04%. Odinga 837, 0.55%. Laikipia County, this is a county with 246,693 registered voters. Aukot 754, 0.44%. Dida 188, 0.11%. Girongo 39, 0.02%. Kaluyu 93, 0.05%. Kenyatta 170,615, 98.55%. Maura 546, 0.32%. Nyaga 61, 0.04%. Odinga 827, 0.48%. Nakuru County, a county with 949,971 registered voters. Aukot 3,118, 0.48%. Dida 1,813, 0.28%. Girongo 513, 0.08%. Kaluyu 699, 0.11%. Uhuru Kenyatta 638, 721. 98.11%. Michael Maura 411, 0.06%. Nyaga 428, 0.07%. Odinga 5,314, 0.82%. Narok County, registered number of voters 341,761. Aukot 320, votes 0.25%. Dida 146, 0.11%. Girongo 44, 0.03%. Kaluyu 116, 0.09%. Kenyatta 126, 930, 98.40%. Maura 90, 0.07%. Nyaga 93, 0.07%. Odinga 1,257, 0.97%. Kajiado County, 411, 267 registered voters. Aukot 573, 0.33%. Dida 370.22%. Girongo 48, 0.03%. Kaluyu 114, 0.07%. Kenyatta 168, 299, 98.21%. Maura 57, 0.03%. Nyaga 73, 0.04%. Odinga 1,825, 1.07%. Kericho County, 375,691 registered voters. Aukot 644, 0.24%. Dida 373, 0.14%. Girongo 121, 0.04%. Kaluyu 221, 0.08%. Kenyatta 270, 927, 98.91%. Maura 133, 0.05%. Nyaga 170, 0.06%. Odinga 1,312, 0.48%. Bomet County, 322,024 registered voters. Aukot 614, 0.27%. Dida 357, 0.16%. Jirongo 112, 0.05%. Kaluyu 232, 0.10%. Kenyatta 223,097, 98.39%. Maura 0.06% at 128 votes. Nyaga 182, 0.08%. Odinga 2,024, 0.89%. Kakamega County 743,929 registered voters. Aukot 210, 0.48%. Dida 139.32%. Jirongo 159.36%. Kaluyu 76.17%. Kenyatta 41,003, 93.32%. Maura 68, 0.15%. Nyaga 115, 0.26%. Odinga 2,166, 4.93%. Vihiga County 272,415 registered voters. Aukot 80, 0.76%. Dida 42, 0.40%. Jirongo 38, 0.36%. Kaluyu 35, 0.33%. Kenyatta 9,847, 93.04%. Maura 25.24%. Nyaga 40.38%. Odinga 477, 4.51%. Bungoma County, registered voters 559,866. Aukot 403.40%. Dida 188.19%. Jirongo 157.16%. Kaluyu 167.17%. Kenyatta 95,835, 95.04%. Maura 128.13%. Nyaga 183.18%. Odinga 3,776, 3.74%. Busia County with 351,087 registered voters. Aukot 71.30%. Dida 43.18%. Jirongo 28.12%. Kaluyu 116.49%. Kenyatta 22,592, 95.92%. Maura 19, 0.08%. Nyaga 49, 0.21%. Odinga 636, 2.70%. Shire County, registered voters 457,957. Shire County, the return is nil. Kisumu County, 539,597 registered voters. Aukot 2 votes. Dida 1 vote. Jirongo nil. Kaluyu nil. Kenyatta 886. Thank you. Michael Maura 0. Nyaga 3. Odinga 7. Now, I have to read that again because I left out the percentages. Jirong Okot, 2 votes is 0.22%. Dida, 1 vote, 0.011%. Jirongo, 0. Kaluyu, 0%. Kenyatta, 886 votes, 98.55%. Maura, 0. Nyaga, 3, that's 0.33%. And Odinga, 7, 0.78%. Now, Homa Bay County. Homa Bay County is nil return. Migori County with 388,696 registered voters. Okot 85.25%. Dida 44.13%. Jirongo 24, 0.07%. Kaluyu 30, 0.09%. Kenyatta 32,741. Thank you. 98.06%. Maura 16.05%. Nyaga 54.16%. Odinga 396, 1.19%. Kisii County, registered voters 546,682. Okot 648, that's 0.45%. Dida 297.21%. Jirongo 173.12%. Kaluyu 270.19%. Kenyatta 138,817. $281.20%. Odinga 2,985, 2.08%. Nyamira County, registered voters 278,853. Okot 384.43%. Dida 152.17%. Jirongo 100.11%. Kaluyu 148.17%. Kenyatta 86,284. That's 97.09%. Maura 98.11%. Nyaga 172.019%. Odinga 1,528, 1.72%. Nairobi City County. This is the county with the highest registered voters in the country. 2,251,929. Okot 3,190, that's 0.40%. Dida 2,714.34%. Jirongo 317.004%. Kaluyu 654, 0.08%. Kenyatta 779,299. %98.18%. Maura 675, 0.09%. Nyaga 353, 0.04%. Odinga 6,579, 0.83%. Now, I'm about to get there. 48, the county number 48, the diaspora county, registered number of voters 4,393. Okot, 19 votes, 1.41%. Dida, 11, 0.81%. Jirongo, 0. Kaluyu, 0. Kenyatta, 1,298, 96.08%. Maura, 2, 0.15%. Nyaga, 1, 0.07%. Odinga, 20, 1.48%. Now, this is the national percentages in terms of registered voters in the whole country. We have 19,611,423 registered voters, out of which John Ekuru Okot got 21,333 votes, representing 0.28%. Mohammed Dida, 14,107, representing 0.19%. Jirongo, 3,832, representing 0.05%. Kaluyu, 8,261, representing 0.11%. Uhuru Kenyatta, 7,483,895. Thank you. Thank you. Now, these percentages are out of the votes, valid votes cast, 98.26%. Michael Maura, 6,007, 0.08%. Joseph Nyaga, 5,554, 0.07%. Raila Odinga, 73,228, 0.96%. Total votes cast, 7,616,217. Rejected ballots, 37,713. That's 7,713. The national percentage voter turnout, this is out of the 19,611,423 against the the votes cast, is 38.84%. Now, in the exercise which we undertook as a commission by virtue of the law and the Supreme Court directives, we have originated posting errors which were noted in Form 34B against Form 34A, which gave a variance of 273 votes. That's the variance between 34A and B. It will be noted that the overall total valid votes cast for all candidates was 7,616,217, as opposed to the total votes of 7,615,944, resulting in the above stated variance of 273 votes. And there is a summary of the variance in our report, which can be obtained from us. And before I move to the next stage, I'll have to get the agents to sign this form. If they're in agreement, then I'll be back to move to the final stage. Thank you.
another commercial break for us. We'll have the agents and the commissioners go to the back and sign Form 34C, which contains all the results of 40,883 polling stations. It's a big document, over 350 pages, and once we sign that document, we'll be right back. Thank you.
Ninaimba sio wimbo ni maombi, nikiomba Mwenyezi Mungu aibariki Kenya yangu, kwa jina la Baba na la Mwana Roho Mtakatifu, amina. Kwa jina la Baba na la Mwana Roho Mtakatifu, amina. Ewe Kenya nchi yangu, ewe Kenya baba yangu, ewe Kenya mama yangu, sitakuacha milele. Akili zangu nguvu zangu nimeziweka mbele yako, bibi yangu na watoto nimewaweka mbele yako. Tabu zangu shida zangu ziangalie Kenya yangu, tabu zangu shida zangu ziangalie Kenya yangu. Ewe Kenya nchi yangu, ewe Kenya baba yangu, ewe Kenya mama yangu, sitakuacha milele. Matajiri masikini sisi sote binadamu, matajiri masikini sisi sote binadamu. Tusahau majivuno na tuache kupayuka, tusahau majivuno na tuache kupayuka. Utajiri majivuno sio tikiti ya mbinguni, utajiri majivuno sio tikiti ya mbinguni. Bahati yako ni ya leo, ile ya kesho ndiyo yangu. Bahati yako ni ya leo, ile ya kesho ndiyo yangu. Ewe Kenya nchi yangu, ewe Kenya baba yangu, ewe Kenya mama yangu, sitakuacha milele. Mungu alikutwa kujua, Mungu alikutwa kuona tu, Mungu alikutwa kujua, Mungu alikutwa kuona tu. Plani zako twazijua, lengo lako twalijua tu. Plani zako twazijua, lengo lako twalijua tu. Wataka kunyamba Kenya we, utuharibiewa. Wataka kunyamba Kenya we, utuharibiewa. Harufu yako twaijua, hata ukipanda ndege. Harufu yako twaijua tu, hata ukipanda ndege. Ewe Kenya nchi yangu, ewe Kenya baba yangu, ewe Kenya mama yangu, sitakuacha milele. Kenya yangu usijali, ukitukana na jirani. Kenya yangu usijali, ukitukana na jirani. nyang'au, wamekuita mnyonyaji. Anakuita nyang'au, wamekuita mnyonyaji. Naye yazidi kuporomoka, wacha yeye yaporomoke. Naye yazidi kuporomoka, wacha yeye yaporomoke. Ewe Kenya nchi yangu, ewe Kenya baba yangu, ewe Kenya mama yangu, sitakuacha milele. Kenya we ni baba yangu, Kenya we ni baba yangu, Kenya we ni mama yangu, Kenya we ni mama yangu. Wacha wao waporomoke, wacha wao waporomoke. Viongozi wetu tuombeni, viongozi wetu tuombeni. Wacha wao waporomoke, wacha wao waporomoke. Wananchi tuombeni, wananchi tuombeni. Wacha wao waporomoke, wacha wao waporomoke. Majeshi yetu kuweni macho, majeshi yetu kuweni macho. Wacha wao waporomoke, wacha wao waporomoke. Wacha wao waporomoke, wacha wao waporomoke. Wacha wao
wa taifa, kwani ndicho kiini hasa kisababisha chonja. Ewe ndugu yangu we, amka kumekucha, kamata jembe na panga, twende shamba. Hata wewe mwanangu, amka kumekucha, kwani hizi ndizo saa za kwenda shule. Hata wewe karani, amka kumekucha, kwani hizi ndizo saa za kwenda kazi. Vivu ni adui mkubwa wa ujenzi wa taifa, kwani ndicho kiini hasa kisababisha chonja. Ewe ndugu yangu we, amka kumekucha, kamata jembe na panga, twende shamba. Hata wewe mwanangu, amka kumekucha, kwani hizi ndizo saa za kwenda shule. Hata wewe karani, amka kumekucha, kwani hizi ndizo saa za kwenda kazi. Wa taifa, kwani ndicho kiini hasa kisababisha chonja. Ewe ndugu yangu we, amka kumekucha, kamata jembe na panga, twende shamba. Hata wewe mwanangu, amka kumekucha, kwani hizi ndizo saa za kwenda shule. Hata wewe karani, amka kumekucha, kwani hizi ndizo saa za kwenda kazi. Uvivu ndio adui wa ujenzi wa taifa, jiepushe na uvivu, jenge taifa. Kumekucha, amka twende shamba, jiepushe na uvivu, jenge taifa. Kumekucha, amka wende shule, elimu ndio msingi wa maendeleo. Kumekucha, amka wende kazi, jiepushe na uvivu, jenge taifa. Uvivu ndio adui wa ujenzi wa taifa, jiepushe na uvivu, jenge taifa. Kumekucha, amka twende shamba, jiepushe na uvivu, jenge taifa. Kumekucha, amka wende shule, elimu ndio msingi wa maendeleo. Kumekucha, amka wende kazi, jiepushe na uvivu, tujenge taifa.
Kenya tunayoipenda, Kenya nchi tunayoipenda, twajivunia sana tukijiita wa Kenya, nchi yenye baraka, Kenya nchi yenye baraka. Tumekomboa Kenya, taifa letu tukufu, tumebadili mwendo, tutalinda katika mpya. Anayependa Kenya ni yule mwenye kutenda haki kwa watu wote, mtu mwenye kutenda haki. Na ukipenda Kenya ujitengane na mambo yenye kuvunja amani. Hatutaki matata Kenya, wenye nchi Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Wenye nchi Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Kenya kipenzi chetu, nchi yenye upendo, hatutaacha Kenya daima na milele. Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Na nikienda nje sitasahau Kenya, na nitabaki Mkenya daima na milele. Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Na tumeapa sote wenye nchi ya Kenya, kutumikia Kenya daima na milele. Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Sitaiacha Kenya nchi yangu, mimi ni mwenye Kenya daima. Umoja wetu Kenya tudumishe, mimi ni mwenye Kenya daima. Sitadanganywa kamwe na porojo, mimi ni mwenye Kenya daima. Wenye kuleta chuki kati yetu, mimi ni mwenye Kenya daima. Nitatetea haki za Wakenya, mimi ni mwenye Kenya daima. Wala sitakubali ukabila, mimi ni mwenye Kenya daima. Sitaharibu mali ya wengine, mimi ni mwenye Kenya daima. Na majirani wangu nitalinda, mimi ni mwenye Kenya daima. Wenye nchi wenzangu, Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Tushangilie Kenya, taifa letu tukufu, Kenya tunayoipenda. Tushangilie Kenya, taifa letu tukufu, Kenya tunayoipenda. Kenya nchi tunayoipenda, Kenya nchi tunayoipenda.
Kenya itakuwa matata, wengi wali umoja, uongoze na usalama. Watu wa Kenya hatuna ubaguzi, watu wa Kenya hatuna ubaguzi, watu wa Kenya hatuna ubaguzi, kila rangi tunaipenda.
Jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana, tuimbe, tucheze sote, Kenya yetu hakuna matata. Jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana, tuimbe, tucheze sote, Kenya yetu hakuna matata. Jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana, tuimbe, tucheze sote, Kenya yetu hakuna matata. Jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana, tuimbe, tucheze sote, Kenya yetu hakuna matata. Kenya nchi nzuri, hakuna matata. Nchi ya kupendeza, hakuna matata. Nchi ya maajabu, hakuna matata. Nchi yenye amani, hakuna matata. Kenya nchi nzuri, hakuna matata. Nchi ya kupendeza, hakuna matata. Nchi ya maajabu, hakuna matata. Nchi yenye amani, hakuna matata. Tuimbe sote, hakuna matata. Tucheze sote, hakuna matata. Tuimbe sote, hakuna matata. Tucheze sote, hakuna matata. Kenya tufurahike sote, hakuna matata, hakuna matata. Njoo twende safari tukaone wanyama, simba na kifaru, hakuna matata, hakuna matata. Hata akitaka mushroom soup pia atapata kwa wingi sana, au sio Nasoro? Hakuna matata, hakuna matata. Mombasa yapendeza, chapati kwa mbaazi na kahawa chungu, hakuna matata, hakuna matata.
kwa jina la Baba na la Mwana Roho Mtakatifu, amina. Ewe Kenya nchi yangu, ewe Kenya baba yangu, ewe Kenya mama yangu, sitakuacha milele. Akili zangu, nguvu zangu, nimeziweka mbele yako. Bibi yangu na watoto, nimewaweka mbele yako. Tabu zangu, shida zangu, ziangalie Kenya yangu. Tabu zangu, shida zangu, ziangalie Kenya yangu. Ewe Kenya nchi yangu, ewe Kenya baba yangu, ewe Kenya mama yangu, sitakuacha milele. Matajiri masikini, sisi sote binadamu. Matajiri masikini, sisi sote binadamu. Tusahau majivuno na tuache kupayuka. Tusahau majivuno na tuache kupayuka. Utajiri majivuno sio tikiti ya mbinguni. Utajiri majivuno sio tikiti ya mbinguni. Bahati yako ni ya leo, ile ya kesho ndiyo yangu. Bahati yako ni ya leo, ile ya kesho ndiyo yangu. Ewe Kenya nchi yangu, ewe Kenya baba yangu, ewe Kenya mama yangu, sitakuacha milele. Mungu alikutwa, Mungu alikutwa kuona tu. Mungu alikutwa kujua, Mungu alikutwa kuona tu. Plani zako tazijua, lengo lako twalijua tu. Plani zako twazijua, lengo lako twalijua tu. Wataka kunyamba Kenya we, utuharibiewa. Wataka kunyamba Kenya we, utuharibiewa. Harufu yako twaijua, hata ukipanda ndege. Harufu yako twaijua tu, hata ukipanda ndege. Ewe Kenya nchi yangu, ewe Kenya baba yangu, ewe Kenya mama yangu, sitakuacha milele. Kenya yangu usijali, ukitukanwa na jirani. Kenya yangu usijali, ukitukanwa na jirani. Yeye anaona wivu kwa vile umeendelea. Yeye anaona wivu kwa vile umeendelea. Anakuita nyang'au, amekuita mnyonyaji. Amekuita nyang'au, amekuita mnyonyaji. Naye yazidi kuporomoka, wacha yeye aporomoke. Naye yazidi kuporomoka, wacha yeye aporomoke. Ewe Kenya nchi yangu, ewe Kenya baba yangu, ewe Kenya mama yangu, sitakuacha milele. Kenya we ni baba yangu, Kenya we ni baba yangu, Kenya we ni mama yangu, Kenya we ni mama yangu. Waja wao waporomoke, waja wao waporomoke. Viongozi wetu tuombeni, viongozi wetu tuombeni. Waja wao waporomoke, waja wao waporomoke. Wananchi tuombeni, wananchi tuombeni. Waja wao waporomoke, waja wao waporomoke. Majeshi yetu tuweni macho.
Can I please request you to take your seats so that we continue the program? Kindly take your seats. Thank you. kindly take your seats. Thank you. I now want to invite the National Returning Officer to publicly declare the results of the election of the President. Thank you.
Good evening once again. Before I proceed, there are some very special people I forgot to thank, and they have been watching TV. My parents in the village, as well as my mother-in-law. Now, Section 58B(2) of the Elections Act requires that when an election is postponed, the said election should be held at the earliest practical time. We postponed elections in 25 constituencies, but the Commission could not determine an appropriate and practicable time. The Commission consulted with relevant agencies, including its field staff, to review the situation, but we were unable to proceed with the election in the 25 counties. The constituencies, sorry. Yeah, my apologies. Having completed the verification process in respect of the 266 constituencies where elections were held, the Commission, in accordance with Section 55B of the Elections Act, directed that a return of the elections be made, being certified that the results of the election shall not be affected by voting in the said electoral areas where the election was postponed. The total number of registered voters in the subject electoral areas being 1,632,930 would not alter the result of this election even if they all voted. Following the Commission's direction that a return of the election be made, as the Chairman and National Returning Officer, in accordance with Article 138(10), I will now proceed to declare the result of the fresh presidential election. Therefore, by virtue of the power vested in me, under the Constitution and all enabling laws, and having been satisfied that the designated President-elect and Deputy President-elect have met the threshold under Article 138.4 of our Constitution, this article requires that for a candidate to be declared President-elect, that candidate should garner 50% plus 1 of the valid votes cast and 25% of the valid votes cast in a majority of the counties. And that's why we were reading out the percentages. The President-elect must satisfy the requirements of the Constitution, and further being satisfied that from the returns directed to be made on the election of the office of the President of the Republic of Kenya will not be affected by voting in areas against which the election was postponed. I hereby call the election, and as I congratulate the victors, yes, as I hereby congratulate the victors, I hereby declare Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, let me say that again. I hereby declare Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta and Mr. William Samoei Ruto as President-elect and Deputy President-elect, respectively. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's now my pleasure to invite the President-elect to say a few words.
Once again, Chairman, thank you very much. Nashukuru kipeo, asanti. Asanteni sana. Once again, as you all know, I have been here before. Hopefully this is for the last time. Fellow Kenyans, let me say that today, tuketi, that today, I as a Kenyan celebrate our resilience as a nation, but I also celebrate our resilience and the resilience of our democracy, the resilience of our people, and also the resilience of our institutions. Any other country experiencing the turns and twists of our recent electoral process would have burst asunder. But our Kenyan resilience will not tire. It will not give in to obvious provocations and base invitation to the politics of darkness. But for this blessing of reason, long-suffering and passion for country, I take this opportunity to thank God. He has brought us thus far, and He will give us victory over darkness. On the 8th of August, and I will not tire to say so, Kenyans woke up early and peacefully to vote. And on that date, they voted me, their president, without a doubt. When my victory was put to test at the Supreme Court, this was the verdict. The court did not challenge my overwhelming mandate of 54%. The numbers were never questioned. What the court questioned was the process of declaring my victory. And because the court did not question my victory, they, by extension, with their ruling, validated my 54% numbers. And herein began a political paradox. In spite of this paradox, I had to make a very painful decision. For the choice for me was to resist the paradox and insist on my valid victory, or to submit myself to the rule of law. This was a very difficult and painful decision, but I had to make it. But in that, and in my own reflections, I was reminded that the law is greater than me. Indeed, it is greater than any individual. and that the law is a direct expression of the general will of all. And with this painful reasoning, I submitted myself to the general will as expressed through our Constitution. And this is how the October 26th election was made possible. It is an expression, fellow Kenyans, of the general will of all. And this general will included the right to vote, but also the right not to vote. The road to October 26th was not easy. Indeed, our own parliament, comprising our Senate and National Assembly, as the lawmaking organ of our nation, took the legislative critique by the Supreme Court seriously, and they embarked to correct the legislative challenges to our election laws. But when the bill was brought to me for signature as president, I was also compelled by my own conscience to go back to the origins of law. If an act of parliament is a direct expression of the will of the people, are the people happy with the law? Some, including some in this room, argued that I was changing the rules of engagement halfway through the game. Others argued that to change the electoral law ahead of the 26th election was to privilege myself over the other competitors. And because the law must be founded on reasoned national consensus, I listened to these voices, and I did not sign that new bill into law. Fellow Kenyans, the rule of good law does not discriminate. It gives us the right to act and the right not to act, the right to vote, and equally, the right not to vote. But it gives us another fundamental condition. It gives us the opportunity to choose and impose on us the results of choice. Fellow Kenyans, despite the fact that my major competitor went to court demanding that the presidential election be nullified and was actually granted his pleading and an annulment, he chose to ignore the rest of the ruling, which ordered a fresh election in 60 days, conducted by none other than the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission as constituted. Therefore, he ultimately chose to abandon the fresh poll. I say this: you cannot choose the opportunity to exercise a right and therefore and thereafter abscond from the consequences of that choice. In line with the verdict, I chose to abide by the court ruling. I went back to our people and once again appealed for their vote. And I take this opportunity to thank all those who turned up in these fresh polls. all those who turned up despite violent intimidation and witchcraft. Many Kenyans exercise their democratic rights. The narrative so far, locally and internationally, therefore, that voter turnout was low, is inaccurate. It is nothing but a consistent history of political convenience and a tirade of conjecture statistics that some of us have continued to exercise. Fellow Kenyans, herein is the truth. As recorded in our books and shall be recorded in our history. On the 8th of August, 15 million Kenyans came out to vote. Of these, 8.4 million Kenyans voted for me. On October 26th, 90% of those same voters came out once again to support my bid. This was nothing more than a revalidation of their general will, a statement of their national intent in support of myself and in support of our Jubilee government, which was their choice. And all of this was done within the confines of the rule of law and our constitutional imperatives. For those who voted for me and Jubilee, by way of revalidating our August 8th victory, today I thank you. Now we can begin the process of reimagining our nationhood. But as we do so, I must remind you of my commitment to the constitutional path and the rule of law. Put differently, my victory today is just part of a process that is likely to once again be subjected to a constitutional test through our courts. And as I have demonstrated repeatedly, I will submit to this constitutional path no matter its outcomes. Fellow Kenyans, if we are to remain committed to constitutionalism, the rule of law, respect for independent institutions, and respect for human life, our democratic resilience will be assured. And this is my personal commitment to the general will of all. And because I will not be answering any questions, as I've said, this is an ongoing process. The people of Kenya have decided. The IEBC have made their announcement as to the verdict in a free and fair democratic election. There is still another process. So we shall wait for that process and we shall wait for its outcome. So therefore, those who will want to ask me, are you going to engage in dialogue with so and so and so and so? Let them first and foremost exhaust their constitutionally laid out processes. Let them go to court, let them do whatever they want. Nobody shall deny them of their constitutional right. Those issues we shall discuss later. As to my agenda going forward, I will discuss once the processes are over. I am not going to jump the gun. Secondly, as we ponder over the next few days, my first preoccupation, as it has been for the last few days, is with our 1.6 million young people who have spent 4 to 8 years preparing for their secondary and primary school exams. The future of these children should not be disrupted, regardless of our political concerns. And my commitment is to ensure that even as we await the final political outcome, that our exams will continue as scheduled and that the future of our children is guaranteed. My last appeal is the appeal I have consistently made to all Kenyans. Your neighbor will remain your neighbor despite the political outcomes. Your neighbor will be your brother. Your neighbor will be your sister. Let each and every one of us be our brother's keeper, our sister's keeper. Let us maintain peace. And with that I say, God bless Kenya and God bless our resilience. Asanteni sana wenzangu. Asanteni.
Can we please have our national anthem, if we can stand up for that? Thank you.
Mikono pamoja kazini, kila siku tu